Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Arts, crafts, stationery, journals, books, educational toys, wrapping paper, devotionals, greeting cards, and much more can all be found at Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg. Shop local to find the perfect gift or have a custom gift basket made for just the right occasion. Paper and Thread has a party room now available for birthdays, classes, and so much more. We could go on and on about all the neat things you'll find at Paper and Thread, but you just need to hop in your car and head down there. 106 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg is where you'll find them and discover what makes Paper and Thread awesome. That's Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg, 106 North Military Avenue, just north of the square.
For over 50 years, Southern Tennessee Regional Health System Lawrenceburg has been a cornerstone of care in Lawrence County. From cardiology to orthopedics, general surgery, primary care, and women's health, we offer compassionate expert care close to home. Our ER is now stronger than ever with more providers, chest pain accreditation, and our newest Joint Commission stroke accreditation because every second matters. Generations have trusted us for compassionate care and medical excellence. Faster, trusted, accredited. Emergency care with hometown heart.
Volco Auto Supply in Lawrenceburg has a legacy of being a family-owned and operated company. Since 1927, our business has grown and evolved into today's one-stop source for all your automotive supplies. But in that time, one thing has stayed the same, and that's our commitment to our customers and their needs. At Volco Auto Supply, you'll find everything for your car, truck, or even fleet of vehicles, but with good old-fashioned customer service the way it needs to be. That's Volco Auto Supply, 416 Buffalo Road in Lawrenceburg. Visit volcoauto.com. Want to take the next steps in taking care of your health? Tennessee Valley Allergy Services can make your goals a reality. Their team of doctors, nurses, and medical professionals are dedicated to providing allergy care and treatment, such as drops and shots, to fit your exact needs. Their expert services are for anyone ages 2 and older. Whether you struggle with environmental or food allergies, they've got you covered. Discover a better you at Tennessee Valley Allergy Services, located right next to the Zaxby's in Lawrenceburg. Book online or call 931-325-0757 to schedule your appointment today.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome everybody to X Sports Today. You're good with Taylor Plott and Bryant, Gobble. And guys, the world of sports is crazy busy right now this time of year. We've got the NFL trade deadline going down. We've got Maction going on tonight. And college basketball at the Division I level started yesterday. A couple upsets here and there, some close calls. School a little bit down south of us that, well, let's just put it this way, is already got a coach putting his foot in his mouth right off the get-go after Bethune-Cookman took them into overtime, or it hit a buzzer beater to send it into overtime, but it was pretty close there. But as most people in Tennessee know, Stephen Pearl saying something stupid, sticking his foot in his mouth is kind of just par for the course.
Yeah, it is. Him and his dad have made trips just down the block to Lawrence County High School, and said I've heard some stories of just different things that they've said, and it's not uncommon for them to say something that's a little, Stephen especially, to say something that's a little off color, and people just be taken back by it. This is going to be a disaster, I think, for Auburn, and I'm excited to watch it.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, you're right. It's like it's the trend that not only Stephen but also Bruce have set for many of years. So it's, on one hand, it's like, okay, well, you're not shocked by the comments, but on the other hand, it's like, come on now. I mean, can we not have awareness of like the entirety of the situation and everything? But the thing that was very striking to me is Auburn played a preseason matchup against Oklahoma State, I believe, and I think Oklahoma State beat them.
Yeah.
So I know it's preseason and everything like that. You're probably not going to be playing the guys like you usually would, but still that was a little eye-opening. And then they go and they play, was it Memphis or somebody else, and they had another exhibition game, and they like blew the doors off of them. Like, okay, well that's kind of what I would expect. All of a sudden, here's Bethune-Cookman, and
Who?
yeah, I know who and
Where?
There was some stat. Matter of fact, I think I know where it is. It was in our group text last night. It said Auburn is headed to overtime with Bethune-Cookman after fouling. It was a half-court buzzer beater that missed, but they fouled the guy and gave him 3 free throws, and he made all 3. This program has never been to the NCAA tournament, has never been closer than 14 points against a ranked team, according to the broadcast. So you're allowing that to happen in your home court, Neville Arena, which is one of the toughest places to play in the nation. Yeah. And you allow that to happen. Now, of course, you win by 5, and it's okay. Yeah. A win's a win. I get that. But, I mean, new coach. I know it's Stephen Perley is on the staff and everything. I'm kind of with you. I feel like maybe it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I don't know. But that first game, I mean, you were like a 22-point favorite in that game, and you won by 5.
I guess you could take it with a grain of salt. Like all of these different games, like Florida even lost last night. It's the first of the season. Yep. There's a lot of change. In today's age of college basketball, you're essentially resetting your roster every year with the transfer portal, and then obviously the one and dones was already an issue in college basketball beforehand. So you're dealing with such high roster turnover. Not to mention, Auburn lost their head coach a month ago, so there's going to be a lot of upsets, as there always has been in college basketball. So take it with a grain of salt, but not a good start for Auburn.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
No, there was a little bit. I'm trying to go back and see some of the scores from last night.
Florida looked really good early, and then all of a sudden Arizona turned it on.
Yeah,
never count out Arizona.
No.
Ever in anything. Tennessee kind of struggled a little bit with Mercer, but
not the greatest.
They got off to a good start. Mercer kind of hung with them the second half, but they had a big enough lead to kind of keep that out there. Houston a big winner, UConn a big winner, St. John's a big winner, Michigan big winner. Villanova loses at BYU in Las Vegas. BYU got out to a big lead. Villanova kind of cut the deficit there some in the second half. Louisville wins big. I mean, they're playing with G League players pretty much at this point.
That's a weird situation.
UCLA struggled with Eastern Washington. Arkansas, no shock, a big winner. Alabama, big winner. Iowa State, big. I mean, pretty much the only team that was really tested last night was Auburn. Everybody else, I'm looking double-digit winners all across the board.
Yeah, the only other score that catches my eye is UCLA only won by 6 against Eastern Washington. I didn't watch any of that game. If I'm just scoreboard watching, I guess that catches my eye. But I did watch a lot of the Tennessee game. I think Tennessee's going to be really good. I think it's going to be slow process for them. At first, we'll have a lot of big games coming up. Let's see. I was trying to find their schedule. They got Houston, Syracuse, Illinois, and Louisville all within the next month, 6 weeks or so. So they'll have to grow up pretty quick. I think they're going to do a lot of learning about themselves before they get into league play.
And speaking of I was basically scoreboard watching. I didn't get to watch any of the games, and the one that stuck out to me was the Louisville one, because I had to do a double take. So the halftime score, I didn't see the halftime score, but I saw the score with about, I think it was 10 minutes left in the first half, and Louisville was up like 42-8.
Nice. Halftime
score 59-15, and the final score was 140-45 against South Carolina State. That one stood out to me because it was getting late in the first half, and like, okay, well, they hadn't even reached double digits yet.
Only game of note tonight, Texas at Duke playing in Charlotte. So that will be – it's only one really top 25 of note tonight. Nothing really Wednesday. Thursday, looks like a lot of teams – speaking of, Auburn's got Merrimack. Right? You never know about those NEC teams coming in there. So you got – then Friday –
You know what they say, the NEC is the new SEC.
Yeah.
Friday, we've got Kansas and North Carolina. Kansas at North Carolina.
That should be a good one.
Should be pretty good one. And then moving to, we shouldn't have much on Saturday with it being football, but Alabama is playing St. John's in the Garden.
Yep.
That's going to be
starting at the tough stretch.
Yeah. Then Arkansas is at Michigan State there on Saturday night, and Oklahoma at Gonzaga in Spokane. So we've got some pretty good marquee matchups here in the first week. Should be pretty interesting.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just from an Alabama standpoint. I mean, the stretch that they're about to go through. Let me find, because I heard a lot of people were talking about this during the off season. I mean, you start off obviously North Dakota, easy team, and then you go at St. John's, at home versus number 1 Purdue right now. Mm-hmm. Go at the road or on the road to Illinois. And then you're out in Vegas. You got Gonzaga, UNLV. Then we're going to December. You've got Clemson, UTSA, should be an easy one. And then you've got against Arizona and Birmingham, South Florida, Kennesaw State and Huntsville, and Yale. And there are a lot of people talking during the offseason, especially with this stretch coming up with St. John's, Purdue, Illinois, Gonzaga. You can put UNLV in there. I really think UNLV might be a ranked team by that point because they do look like they should have a pretty good team this year. Who knows what's going to happen with Clemson? You might go on a stretch where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ranked matchups in a row, and then by the time you get into December, you might have faced about 9 ranked opponents. And there's some people talk about that might be the toughest stretch that a college basketball team has had in the regular season in quite some time. So it's going to be a big test.
You're going to learn. You'll learn a lot.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
You're going to learn a whole lot.
Well, guys, let's go into the trade deadline in the NFL. The Jets are just pretty much trading away all their big players right now, especially on defense. And then Quentin Williams to the Cowboys are going to get a 2026 second-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick. And defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. So they get a couple picks and trading D tackles there. The Bears are adding Cleveland Browns defensive end Joe Tyron Shoyinka.
Nailed it.
Yep, hopefully.
Interesting last name.
Starting edge rusher Dio Odeing.
Nailed it.
Get towards it, Caitlin. Bears agreed to send a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Browns in exchange for Shoyinka in a 2026 seventh round. So they'll get a couple picks out of that. Seahawks add wide receiver from the New Orleans Saints, Rashid Shaheed. He has 44 catches, 499 yards, 2 touchdowns in 9 games. I think that's it. That's just a trade. And then the Colts are going to send 2 first-round picks to the New York Jets for Sauce Gardner.
That's the biggest one, is the Colts are serious about winning while they can. While they have Daniel Jones on a cheap contract, they have Jonathan Taylor still in his prime. They have a pretty good, serviceable defense, and obviously their offensive line is what helps Jonathan Taylor be who he is. So them getting Sauce Gardner is the big news. And then the Jets getting 2 first-rounders for Sauce, and then another first for Quentin is also big news. Like, the Jets are stacking up some picks over the next couple of years. They're going to give Aaron Glenn his fair shot. I don't know who the general manager is over there, but if they can hit on a few picks, theoretically here in 3 or 4 years, it would be great. Right now, they're selling their present to be good in the future, and the Colts are buying with Sauce Gardner. It's going to be weird, I think, to see Sauce in a Colts uniform, right? He's just been with the Jets for the past three or so years. He's a young player.
He just signed a 4-year, $120.4 million extension.
Yeah, he's a really good player. So that'd be a great addition for the Colts. We'll see if Sauce Gardner is going to help Daniel Jones play any better. So if Daniel Jones doesn't improve his play from this past Sunday, then who cares how good he is on the defensive side of the ball. But it'd be interesting to see. Like, the Colts are trying to make some noise in a very competitive AFC. Like, I don't know if you saw the Chiefs and Bills play, but those 2 teams are still great, right? They played really well. Let's see, who else is going to come out of the AFC? Probably the Steelers or the Ravens, I feel like, are probably going to win their division, so they'll be competing with them as well. And then you're also dealing with potentially Joe Burrow coming back if the Bengals can make some noise. So I don't know. Good luck to the Colts. They're trying though. They're pushing their chips in on this year.
Yeah, I feel like this could easily be like a win-win for both teams, because on one hand you do have the Colts stacking up. They know that they have a good team. They're putting their chips in and saying, okay, well, this is our chance to make a good run. On the other hand, you're looking at the Jets. You made a good point. It's like they're giving away, good, solid players, but they're also looking towards the future. And you got 2 first-round picks out of that, I believe. And I feel like, obviously we'll see who they pick in the draft. I'm guessing it's next year's draft that they gave, the 2026.
Yeah, they have some picks coming up in 26 and also in 27. Like the Sauce pick was 2 first. I think both are this coming year, and then Quinnen Williams also included a first. Okay. I'm pretty sure some 27 draft capital is also included. I wasn't sure the specifics though.
So they're obviously looking forward to the future and trying to restock. So as it looks right now, I get both sides. I feel like it could be a win-win for both. I know it's a win for the Colts right now because you're definitely stocking up on top of what you have, and for the Jets' perspective, obviously you're looking forward to the next couple of seasons to try to rebuild, and we'll just see how it goes.
The Jets are just so far behind, though. Like, you look at, obviously, the Bills in their division. They look like they're playing like a different game than like the Jets or the Titans. Like, the Bills are just so good. And the Patriots they've got their coach, they've now got their quarterback, and they're running. And the Jets are just so far behind. The Dolphins are a trash fire. At least the Jets, I guess, are making some trades and getting some picks in that division. But I think the Jets realize they've really got to build. They're not competitive, and they've got to build this through the draft, and that's what they're pushing towards.
Absolutely, guys. We're coming up next. We're going to play some Keep 'em or Dump 'em in the world of football. Might get a little controversial. We'll see what these guys think when we return.
Mac Brown has been providing photographic services for 55 years. During that time, Mac Brown photographers have photographed children, seniors, weddings, schools, musicians, and commercial businesses. The studio takes great pride in producing quality photographs and services for its many clients. While the studio has adapted as times have changed, their goal of providing excellent photography has remained constant. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at macbrownphoto.com or give them a call at 931-762-4263. Let the professionals at Mac Brown Photography turn your memories into treasures.
Back to school equals back to big savings at Heritage Automotive in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Score 0% financing on select models and up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 1500 trucks. Over 150 used vehicles, all priced to move and below market value. Need service? Our expert team is ready, and we've got loaner vehicles to keep you moving while we work. Hurry into Heritage Automotive, where the deals are hot and the savings are huge.
Heritage Automotive. Expect more, experience the difference.
Efficiency, reliability, accuracy. Move forward with your real estate sale or purchase with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County, the most experienced closing team around. Working with clients locally and throughout the state, we offer a wide range of services, including the expertise of an on-staff attorney, backed by our more than 49 years experience in titles and closings. We get the job done on time at a fair price and ensure every last detail is correct. Our goal is to give you peace of mind. When you work with us, you work with people who live where you do. We understand the importance of the real estate community and strive to build strong relationships with all parties involved in the process. Whether you're buying a home, selling a business, acquiring land, or anything in between, you're in good hands with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County.
Put the most experienced closing team on your side. Contact Title and Escrow of Lawrence County today.
Good Works at Home, formerly known as the Summit at Home, is a licensed non-skilled agency dedicated to helping you maintain your independence at home for as long as possible. Our compassionate and caring staff provide support in various areas, including dressing, bathing, personal hygiene, transportation, cleaning, and companionship. Please call our office about services, payment options, and long-term care policies at 931-762-2310. We look forward to assisting you with keeping your independence longer.
If you're looking for a company that can do it all when it comes to building, look no further than Tennessee Properties. From new home builds to remodels and commercial projects, our contractors work hard to give your space a new life from planning to finishing touches. Whether it's new interiors or dirt work, they see your big picture without forgetting the small details. In the market for a new home, they partnered with Freeman Development to bring new homes to the Oak Hill subdivision of Lawrenceburg. That's Tennessee Properties, licensed and insured. Call today or visit Tennessee.com.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back here to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Taylor Plott and Bryant Gobble. And guys, time to play some Keep 'em or Dump 'em in the world of college football and in the NFL as well. So, right off the get-go, keep it or dump it, guys. Deion Sanders has been a failure at Colorado.
I'd say keep him. I mean, what was Colorado before Deion got there? Like, they would cycle up and have maybe a good season or something like that. Mm-hmm. If he's still selling out the crowds and selling tickets and being a good coach, I mean, they haven't had. What was the record this year? Do you know off the top of your head? Colorado
2-6.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. But I mean,
one win in the Big 12.
Yeah. Keep him. I don't know why you would fire him. You're going to go back to being nothing. It isn't like Colorado has these great big traditions and championship aspirations. They're 1-5 in conference, 3-6 overall. Don't fire him.
I'm leaning towards Bryant's comment because he makes a good point, which is, we talked about yesterday with the coaches in some of these big programs. Like, all right, well, what is their standard? Is their standard conference and national championships? And if you do 10-2 seasons and don't get it done, are you in the hot seat or not? Yeah. I think Colorado's definitely in a different type of category because you do make a good point. He's selling tickets. Mm-hmm. He's bringing a crowd. People want to come see him. People do want to come play for him. But I think a lot of people, you look at who he brought in from Jackson State. He brought in his son, Shador, which is a really good quarterback. You had Travis Hunter, who is an amazing dual player on both sides of the ball. Right. And yeah, you performed well, but you probably went a little bit below what people thought you were going to be able to do with that quality of team that he had. But for Colorado, what else are you going to get? Because that question still applies to Colorado, even with some of the other big teams. Is all right, well, you fire coach, who are you going to get? Yeah. There's not another Deion Sanders out there. He is going to sell tickets. He's going to have his brand, and he's going to recruit players that do want to play for him. And, yeah, is he having a tough season? Yes. But who's to say you flip around next year and all of a sudden they're 10-2?
Yeah, he's established enough goodwill to where he gets another season. Yeah. I don't know why anybody in Colorado would want to fire him. Give him another year. He lost, like you said, a lot of big pieces to what made him successful coming in. So give him another year, see if he can turn it around.
All right, guys. Over in Knoxville is Josh Heupel the next James Franklin?
Is Josh Heupel the next James Franklin? Taylor?
I was kind of feeling you were going to toss it my way first.
Let me gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
Sorry, take your time.
Yeah, take your time on that.
It's a deep question to think about. It's a really deep question because there's a lot that goes into this.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
And here's why I say no. If you look and see what he has done at Tennessee since he got there, it has been nothing but a major turnaround. Mm-hmm. You've beaten Bama twice in the past 2
out of 4.
2 out of 4, which hadn't been done in a very, very long time. I really think that when you look at this year, you had a very... When I say tumultuous, it wasn't really like a huge turmoil, but you had a key piece that was in turmoil, which is the quarterback. And you ended up getting Joey Aguilar on basically a de facto trade between Tennessee and UCLA, which I think is still funny. And I do think that he is better than Nico, but you have brought in a new piece, and I do think there's a little other struggles going on. I do think that there is some coaching aspect that is not above him. I feel like he can learn and he can grow. And talked about yesterday, where it's like you are stomping on their neck. Go ahead and break the neck. Don't let them get back up and try to compete. So I feel like he's got enough coaching ability. I feel like he's a good recruiter. Tennessee is a big brand in the SEC, even with it being the way it was for the longest time. People still wanted to flock to Knoxville, but you needed a good coach to be able to rally them around. And I feel like he is that coach. I feel like that he is that leader. And I don't think that he's the next James Franklin. I think Franklin's big issue is he ends up being too timid in the big games, whereas this, I really think that Heupel is good in the big games, but there's little things that he needs to work on. I feel like it's not 1-to-1 comparison with Franklin. I feel like Heupel has better qualities in the bigger game setting than Franklin does, so I'm going to say no.
Yeah, 30. I agree with you for the most part. 30,000-foot view, I think there's an argument to be made. Both resurrected programs that were dead, like the corpse was cold in Happy Valley. The same thing in Tennessee, like 2020. I was thinking of other teams to root for after Jeremy Pruitt got fired, and both of them resurrected those programs and got them consistent and got them treading water at least. I think Heupel's a better coach. He's a better offensive mind. I think he's a better recruiter. Maybe it's because it's easier to recruit to the SEC. I also think you have to adjust a little bit, like grade on the scale of Heupel is coaching in the SEC. He's got harder games week in and week out than James Franklin did in Happy Valley. I still believe that if Heupel is willing to make changes to his coaching staff and willing to make changes to himself and self-evaluate, I still think he could cycle up and potentially win an SEC championship and compete again in the college football playoffs. I don't think that's going to be an unusual thing for Heupel to make it to the college football playoffs and win a big game. Franklin, anytime a big game came his way, that was the thing. He didn't compete. He didn't win. Heupel's flipped that script already. He's already won big games before, we're going to talk about the 2022 season until something better comes along, but you beat Alabama that year, you beat Florida that year, you beat LSU at LSU that year, you beat Clemson that year, you beat Alabama again in Neyland. You've had great wins in the program. That was a little bit of a temperature check last year against Ohio State. That was a little bring you back down to earth. So that game this year versus Alabama and Oklahoma, they were letdowns, but I'm going to give Josh a pass, a little bit more credit than James Franklin. Both are great coaches, but I would still take Josh.
I'm going to add on one other thing that I feel like is a comparison between the two that goes in favor of Heupel. Franklin, obviously, we talked about his biggest issue was the big games. Well, if you look at the scores in those big games against Ohio State, against Michigan, against maybe some others, I'm just throwing random scores out there, but it feels like these have usually been the scores. It's usually Ohio State 35, Penn State 17. It's usually, I'm going to throw an Oregon out there or something like that. I know it was very close this year, but in the past against a team like that, it's been like 42 to like 21. So it's like he's not, for Franklin and those big games at Penn State, they're usually not scoring and really competing in those games, whereas Heupel, the Bama lost this year, but you were still relatively in that game. Right. You were in that game against Georgia till the end. You were still in that game against Oklahoma, given the situation that was going on. And you look at some of the other games that he has so-called lost the big games, they are competing. They are in the games. They are not getting blown out.
Right.
Franklin, on the other hand, there's a little bit more of a blowout factor.
My biggest question, and I asked it yesterday, and I think this is where a lot of people are, especially if you're listening to the post-game radio show like I was, stuck in traffic for 2 hours trying to get out of that game. A lot of people are asking, have they reached the ceiling? Is this 10-2 is going to be the best first round of the playoffs, or is there another ceiling, or is he capable of raising the ceiling from what it's been?
Like I said, if he makes changes to himself and to his staff, then yes. But if he's not willing to do that, which, I heard on a podcast this morning, Heupel's never fired an assistant coach. So maybe he's not willing. As a head coach, he's never fired an assistant coach. So maybe he's not willing to change. If so, yeah, he could have topped out, which is great. Like, thank you for getting us to where we're disappointed staring down the barrel of a potential 8-4 season. Like, I remember in the Butch Jones years, we were jumping for joy that 8-4 was what we got, and we were talking about how great of a season that was and what we can build on. And now we're talking about how big of a letdown 8-4 is. If that's the case, then great. I still think maybe make some changes. Let's roll the dice again. Take out all the off-season drama. Get him another good quarterback. He's trying to develop some good quarterbacks, and give him another chance next year. I think I'd be willing to roll the dice and think that he can do better than 10-2, maybe 11-1, maybe 12-0.
I think that there is another ceiling that he is yet to reach yet. The thing that I feel like is going in his favor is, one, he's played the game. He was a Heisman candidate at Oklahoma, very, very good quarterback. So he knows how to play quarterback. He knows what to look for in a quarterback. And I feel like he at least knows those leadership skills that you need as a quarterback that he can transition into coaching, which I know that he's done because of what he's been able to accomplish at Tennessee. So I know that those players rally around him. The question is that I'm still with you on is he needs to make – they're not huge changes. I felt like James Franklin needed to make some big changes in regards to the big game. Heupel does not need to make big changes. It's these little moments that maybe need to be discussed and talked about, where you talk about more game management and situation stuff. But, I mean, I really don't think that he needs to make huge, outrageous changes. It's just these little things, and it could be firing an assistant coach and bringing someone else on. But he gives me a lot more going for him to say there's another ceiling at Tennessee where there is going to be potential SEC championships and maybe a national championship contender. Franklin, on the other hand, looked like that he had met his ceiling because you had seen that over and over and over again for 10 years.
I look at Dabo Swinney in Clemson. Dabo wasn't – I mean, Dabo was successful out of the gate. You know, he made that second-year jump and got to 9 wins for the program. And by, his fourth year, I believe, he was at 10 wins. But he didn't win a national championship until his 7th or 8th year.
It took a while.
It took a while, and I think it took Dabo some self-evaluation, some changes to finally hit and finally get it clicking. I would be willing to continue to ride where we are and see if he can break through that ceiling similar to what Dabo did at Clemson.
The last thing I'll say is Tennessee is a brand. People want to go play in Knoxville. People want to play for Heupel. And that's two great positives right there. You're going to get your recruiting. You get your players to play for you. You're setting a culture there that is starting to become established. And I'm with you, that Dabo situation, I look at Clemson as Clemson was definitely different than Tennessee. Clemson never really thought of them as like going to be a big-time football powerhouse. And Dabo Swinney comes in and changes the culture and changes the things, and it took about 6 or 7 years for them to really, really get established. I'm not saying that's going to be what Heupel has to do, because I feel like Tennessee's more established already as a so-called historic powerhouse in the SEC, but you just got to make a couple of changes here and there. But I do think that he gives me more hope as if you're a Tennessee fan, as opposed to saying that he's going to be a James Franklin.
Yeah, I mean, Heupel did build not from nothing, but man,
it was not a lot.
Bad. It was just so bad after Jeremy Pruitt left, with the NCAA sniffing around. The decade of dysfunction was thrown around in Knoxville. I believe that's a book that some reporter wrote about all that happened in Knoxville. Man, he's earned the right to finish this year out, potentially finish 9-3, have a good season, and roll into next year with a new quarterback, similar offensive line, great receiving core that he can build on. We'll see.
Sorry, I'm breaking news right now. Lawrence County's football game has been moved because of weather issues. Has been moved up to Thursday, the playoff game against Ray County.
Okay.
So kickoff will still be at 7:00, but it has been moved from Friday to Thursday. So that's why
a good call.
I have been paying attention, but not really been paying attention.
That's fine.
I'm just like, guys, just keep talking.
We can keep going.
Conversation, just keep going.
I can talk about Tennessee all you want.
Yeah. But okay, let's go to another coach.
Okay.
Mario Cristobal. Has he reached his ceiling in Miami, or is he just because now we've got instances where he peaked at FIU. He did peak at Oregon. Has he already peaked at Miami?
Those are two back-to-back good questions.
He had good teams, but I mean, I do agree that if Hypo can make the right adjustments and be wise about it, he can certainly raise that ceiling.
Yes,
Mario's been in that game longer, at bigger programs longer, and I think he just is who he is at this point.
Let me give him as the third comparison now. Going back to that last question, James Franklin's problem was in the big games. And the problem that he had in the big games was he ended up getting too timid. There's a weird play calling, and there's a lot more blowouts than actually being competitive. Josh Heupel, it's just little tiny issues here and there. They are competitive in the big games. Give him some time. I think he'll make an adjustment. He'll be good. Mario Cristobal is another interesting one. I fit him in a category that if you had to compare all three of them, I feel like he's in between a James Franklin and a Heupel, because it seems like when they prepare for these big games, and when I say big games, there's the teams that you feel like are trap games, and they do end up being trap games. So his big games sometimes end up being against opponents that you probably should pretty handily defeat. But they don't. And I don't know if it's just a mindset of we're just going to roll up in there, we're going to do our thing and be all happy and fine afterwards, and you don't really put much effort into it. Because there's a lot of those games where you look at that Miami team, and they might have just been coming off of a win against a ranked opponent in like the top 10 or top 15 where they look fantastic. And then they go up against like an NC State, or they go up against a Louisville, or some team that you feel like that they should be able to handle, and they play down to their opponent. They don't look like they're prepared. They're running with their like chickens with their heads cut off. His big game ends up being the games that you should win, and that's not a good thing to have. So I would lean towards maybe he has peaked, because it's one of those things like with the Franklin where it's like, okay, you've had 10, 12 years on you now, and this has continued to be an issue. So you start thinking, okay, well, you obviously can't change.
Right.
He was not a good coach at Florida National. I'm looking at the record.
He had one good year.
I
was at the bowl game.
Oh, okay. The Beef O'Brady's Bowl.
Yeah, I was there.
Such a high quality bowl.
That was played at the Race Stadium.
Okay.
We had Beef O'Brady's that day. Not in the press box. We had to go somewhere near the beach.
Okay. Well,
it's not bad.
He had a year where he cycled up, but you know what his record was the year after that? 3-9. He went 8-5.
And they canned him.
Yeah, he went 5 years. I guess bouncing around coordinator positions.
Well, he was at Bama. He was their own line coach. I think all 5 of those years.
Was it all 5?
He went through the Saban rehabilitation program.
Landed at Oregon in 2017 and finished up at Oregon at the end of 2021. I think I would dump him. I think he hasn't shown anything that's just overly impressive. He's a good coach, but if you're wanting to win a national championship, you got Michael Irving on the sideline, right? He's down on all fours. Right. He's at practice trying to wave the towel and get everybody hyped up. Michael Irving has seen the U, right? Whenever it's the U, and he wants it back to that. And I don't think Mario Cristobal can get him there. He's a respectable coach. They were doing great for the ACC. I don't think he's ever going to be able to break through.
He's also one of those where it's talking about the it factor and being able to take that next step. Either that means you need to make adjustments on yourself, or you need to be able to rally your team around you a lot more. Maybe there's more of a team issue that you need to fix rather than it's yourself. But you still have that it factor where it's what you need to do, you get it done, and you see the results from it. And you look at some of the great coaches in the past. I do feel like Philip Fulmer's had somewhat of an it factor, and when he was really, really successful at Tennessee. Kirby Smart has it. You had Nick Saban that had it. You had what's his name that was down at Florida State, Bowden. You had all these really great coaches that if the team is not meeting up to your standards or being underperforming, there's a way that you can fix it, and they do fix it. Yeah. And I feel like with him, he just doesn't really have it. It's like you look at him on the sidelines, especially in some of those close games, and he looks stunned. I mean, there's almost it's a very stunned emotional state from him. And you don't want to be looking like a deer in the headlights from a head coach on the sideline in some of these big games, especially if you're supposed to win them. Yeah. I dump him. I think he's a good coach. I think he's definitely solid. I feel like for Miami, you're not in a bad position, but you are the you.
You know what the writing on the wall was for him? I just remembered that awful late game management versus Georgia Tech a couple of years ago when all they had to do was that his first year?
Yeah.
All they had to do was like kneel the ball out and it would have been, and they ran it, fumbled it. Georgia Tech takes the lead on the impossible play the next time.
It's
should have known then.
That's kind of, I don't know, like that's been a critique against Heupel. It's certainly been a critique against Cristobal's game management. Yeah. And just wild things happen in big games.
At least Heupel knows when to kneel the ball.
Yeah. Another keeper dumping our final one in college football, guys. Which league is more than likely a one big league, the Big 12 or the ACC?
Define that. What do you mean by that?
One team in the
one bid.
Oh, one bid. I thought you said one big.
No, one bid.
One bid.
I think it's ACC. We talked about it yesterday. There's just a bunch of other things that could happen. The Big 12 has, Texas Tech, BYU, those teams I could easily see getting in. So I would say ACC there.
ACC Big 12, right?
Yeah, ACC.
ACC, I would say probably one, because obviously with the Miami situation we just talked about, I do feel like whoever wins the ACC is the auto bid and the only bid. From a Big 12 standpoint, I still think it's a two-bid league. I think you have the champion.
This weekend's gonna define it. If Texas Tech can beat BYU and then those two meet up in the championship game,
it's the runner-up's going to get in,
and especially if the other one beats the other one. It's like, okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, I do think that at the end of the year, you're going to see Texas Tech and BYU.
That's going to be a good game day. Yeah. I forgot about that. That's going to be a good game day crowd. That would be something to watch. YouTube permitting on Saturday morning.
We'll see.
Have they said anything on that yet?
No.
So silence.
Well, I saw someone put on Facebook, one of my friends on Facebook the other day, how do I watch Monday Night Football if I have YouTube TV? And someone replied, you don't.
You don't.
I saw.
Go to a restaurant.
A lot of people have been getting like the antennas because like that's still local signals.
Did that. It works.
Yeah,
it
does.
Not bad.
I was just about to make a comment on that because I saw one of my friends on Facebook post saying like, "Hey, I got the old antenna out. It's like I'm good to go for ABC and CBS today." And then somebody commented who was some Gen Zer, I'm going to say it, and they're like, "What is that? What do you?" I'm just like,
antenna.
Like that, like there was no such thing as cable. Depending, like I grew up in West Virginia. We're not a rural area, but some of my relatives were in a rural area. Like you, literally, the only channels they got ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS.
Yep.
And if you're lucky, the Fox signal came through good enough, and maybe C-SPAN.
Yep.
That was about
good old C-SPAN.
That's about as good as that got back then. But that's just another topic. Like you have these two entities. You got ESPN, you've got Disney, and who gets hurt as always through all of this?
It's consumer.
It's the consumer. We just want to watch college football. Like all of us here, we might have our shows, but dude, when there's football on, we watch football. When there's big sports on, we watch sports. Yeah. And they're holding us back from that just to make an extra buck. And guess who has to pay for more money for that at the end of the day? We do. ESPN, Disney overpays for all of this, which they have been doing from the get-go. And at the end of the day, we're the ones that got to make up the difference in their loss.
Yeah. Well, think about it in this aspect. You go back what are we in, 2025? When did streaming really start taking off? Mid-2010s?
Yeah.
Like 2015-ish or something?
I switched off of cable in about 2015-ish,
all right,
around that time.
So we'll say 10 years. We'll say 10 years. Go back to the cable days. Yeah, you're paying your cable bill. You have the internet bundle too. It's probably $120 a month. All right. Well, what do you have to do? Turn the TV on, punch a channel, and there you go. You had no other issues. You didn't have to go anywhere else. Didn't have to find this app, go to here, log into here, and anything like that. Streaming comes along. It seems like, okay, well, that's an easier way to do it because all your little things that you want are right there for you.
Yeah.
And look what it's turned into. It's turned into an absolute mess. I almost want to go back to cable.
It's chaotic because you can't. You got to go to, especially with this deal now, you got to go to the ESPN app, and that app with all their updates is a mess.
It's always been a mess.
You'll stay on it for 5 minutes, and then it will kick you off, or it will buffer.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be in like 4K HD, and all of a
You're a
sudden
multi-billion-dollar company, and you cannot get your app together.
Yeah.
It has never, ESPN's never had a good app.
Well, my parents still have cable, and they're actually out of town this past weekend, and our dog gets like really big anxiety when he's in the house for a long period of time alone. And so my dad was like, go over there and hang out with him for a little bit. Well, they obviously still have cable. So I walk in there, there's ESPN. My first thought was, I'm glad they don't have YouTube TV. It's like, it is one of those things where you started to go away from it, and then all of a sudden we're in the time now. It's like, well, maybe we need to go back.
Well, if they decide to switch, let me refer them because I get a coupon.
Okay.
So
There we go.
You just hit me up.
Okay, well, there we go. Well, let's go to the NFL, guys. In the AFC East, who's the biggest threat out of that division, the Bills or the Patriots?
Right now, I'm going to lean with the Bills, not just because I'm a Bills guy. I feel like they are tested because they've been there, they've done that. But man, do the Patriots look really good. And I really think that it's going to be I do think that both of them get in. It's just a question of who wins the division versus who gets into the wild card. But I would lean towards the Bills right now because you have Josh Allen, you have a well-established offense, you've been established as a powerhouse, but it's close. Yeah. It's close.
I'm trying to look at I would lean Bills right off the bat, but I'm trying to look at their rest of their schedule. Patriots are the top right now just because they have one extra win because the bye week situation. Patriots have Bucks, Jets, Bengals, Giants. All four of those seem pretty winnable with the Bucks being the test right there. They do play the Bills and the Ravens, and they play the Jets and the Dolphins again. Schedule, I guess, would lean towards Patriots. I mean, the Bills still have the Bucks, Steelers, Eagles. They still have to play the Patriots, so I guess the schedule would tell me Bills, but I just don't want to bet against Josh Allen getting it done, like a proven quarterback and a team that has shown that they can do damage trying to get to the postseason and in the postseason versus a team that doesn't have any experience. I mean, Mike Vrabel coached the Tennessee Titans to the freaking AFC Championship game. So I guess I'm more thinking of quarterbacks like who's your captain? Who's going to lead you down the field, get a drive when you need it? I would lean Josh Allen in that situation. Drake May's been great, but Josh just, man, there's something different. Something flips in his head, and he goes, Superman mode, and he gets it done. So the schedule, it would say New England. I'm going to say Josh Allen and the Bills come out on top of the AFC East.
The other thing I would say that I feel favors the Bills is you look at the losses that they had this year, and one of them, which was the Falcons that they lost to.
Yeah, 24-14. That was a pretty bad loss.
And it was kind of like, okay, well, that's a bit of a head scratcher. But you felt like going into that Chiefs game, that was going to be a big test to see, okay, are you legit or are you going to be stumbling this year? And, it's against the Chiefs team that has stumbled, but it's still the Chiefs. It's still Patrick Mahomes. And the Chiefs-Bills game always comes through every single year. And you come out with the victory. And I felt like that was a test for them to see, okay, is this going to be a legit contender this year? You're going to be stumbling, and it's just going to be the Patriots. They passed the test, and Patriots are still right there, but it's It's going to be a close one. I still lean Bills, though.
I was talking to some of my friends last night after watching some of the highlights from the Chiefs Bills. Like growing up with me, like Peyton versus Brady was kind of the AFC classic that you saw sometimes multiple times a year. And this is the new like every time both teams are going to be good. Both teams are going to be in playoff contention. Both teams are probably going to see each other in the postseason again. I love the heck out of watching these two teams play. I don't like all the outside drama that comes with the Chiefs, but on the field, they're fun to watch. So that was a pleasure to watch on Sunday.
Final NFL question, guys, and then we'll go straight into trivia since I've got to hit the road. I'm a busy man, and it's literally extending. I'm answering emails and breaking news while the show is going on.
He does it all.
Now, the NFC North, everyone is jumbled up literally by pretty much one game. Green Bay, Detroit, the Bears all with 5 wins, Minnesota at 4-4. Who makes it out of there as the best team in the NFC North?
It's going to be the Lions.
Yeah, but they just lost to the Vikings. Man, that wasn't a good win at all, right?
That wasn't, but there's just – why am I blanking on his name? Who's their head coach? Dan Campbell. He going back to the it factor, he has the it factor. If there's a guy who can instill the will into that team, which is still a really, really good team, it's him. So I could say that there's a lot of that's up in the air because Green Bay's still good. Who knows if the Vikings start catching fire now that McCarthy's back at quarterback. But give me Dan Campbell and the Lions because they have proven it over the past handful of years that they can get it done when they need to get it done. I would lean to them.
I'm looking at the schedules. I'm a big schedule guy. That matters. The Green Bay schedule looks rough down the stretch. Lions look a little more digestible. Lions still have the Cowboys, the Giants, the Commanders.
Those are winnable.
Those are all winnable. The only winnable game I see with the Packers, because that's who I'm getting to, the Packers and Lions. I don't think the Bears are contention. I don't think the Vikings are going to. I know the Vikings just beat the Lions, but
they'll come out of nowhere and beat somebody.
Sure. Would y'all agree that it's between the Packers and the Lions?
Yes.
That's what I would say.
I agree.
So looking at the schedule here, Packers have Eagles next game. They have the Giants. Okay, winnable. Vikings. Not a guaranteed. We just saw it. They have the Lions. They played the Bears twice, which is big interdivisional rivalry. Anything can happen there. The Packers are a better team, but the Bears can push them. They play the Broncos. They play the Ravens at the end of December, who could be trying to fight for a playoff spot because they've started the season off so bad. They're trying to get healthy again and push for the playoffs, and they finished the season playing the Vikings. There's only one win that you feel good about, and that's against the Giants coming up here in a couple weeks for the Packers. They have I didn't realize that they have a tough road to hoe here going towards the end of the season, but yeah, definitely the Lions probably coming out on top.
All right, guys, let's go into some trivia. Trivia Tuesday here. We're talking who has the best home advantage in college sports. We're going to talk college basketball. Since 2005, can you guys guess off of home win percentage what are the top 15 best home court advantages in college basketball?
Duke
is number 2. They have won 90.5% of their games at home since 2005.
I also throw UNC in there. They got to be up there.
I was going to say the Blue Bloods like Duke, UNC. My guess would be Kansas as well.
Kansas is number 1, guys.
Mm-hmm.
They have
you can't win there.
94.3% of their games. West Virginia, it took them forever to finally win one there, and they won it.
Allen Fieldhouse is so tough.
Well, I just know that Tennessee's had some really close battles at Kansas over the past few years. It's hard to win there.
North Carolina is number 9. They've won 84.9% of their games. What was the other one you guys said off?
No, that was
just it. Those are the 3.
The Blue Bloods off the top of my head.
Kentucky.
Number 3. They've won 88.1% of their games home, and you guys have hit the top 3. Number 4 is a bit of a surprise.
This is past 10 years?
Past 20.
20. I was going to say Tennessee, but we haven't been good for that long.
Tennessee's
So maybe the past, I'd like to say 5 to 10 years. Maybe Tennessee would be in there. But
number 4 has kind of bounced around some leagues in the past 20 years, but is in a Power 4 league right now.
What league right now?
Big 12.
Houston.
No. Houston's number 15, but that's not the one I'm talking about. Houston has won 81.5% of their games.
Cincinnati.
No.
Bounce around some leagues. That's throwing me for a loop.
Is this relatively new Big 12?
Yes.
What was the previous one?
Previous league. They were. What is the league? Gonzaga. What do they call Gonzaga's league?
Oh, the WAC? Or no, the West Coast Conference, WCC.
West Coast, yeah, they were in the WCC.
I don't have a good guess. UConn?
No. UConn's on the Big 12.
Nah, no.
What? I'm trying to. It wasn't Colorado.
No.
Who else is in the Big 12?
It's on the West Coast. You guys got that?
Like actually on like what's
well, like Mountain?
Mountain. Arizona.
Arizona is number 6,
but that's not the team.
They're 85.3%, but that's not the team.
Arizona's a good guess. Not Baylor, is it?
No.
You're gonna have to tell us. I don't know.
What?
BYU.
Oh, that's right. They were in the West Coast.
87.3% of their games at home in the last.
Really?
God, I never would have thought of them.
I was staring right at them, and I was like, "It's not BYU."
Yeah, they're not great on the road, but they are. That place is really tough to play. Number 5, a big. I guess you can call them a Big Ten blue blood.
Indiana.
No, they've been bad since.
It's been, I think the last 20 years. Probably the most consistent program in the Big Ten.
Purdue.
Purdue is on the list. They're not number 5. Purdue is number 7. Mackey Arena. They have won 85.1% of their games.
Is it Michigan?
Michigan State.
There you go.
State. Big Izzo.
86.9% of their games at home.
Izzo.
Yeah. Number 8, a new Big Ten team.
UCLA.
Yes, 85.1% of their games. We've mentioned North Carolina. Another Big Ten team at number 10.
Illinois.
No.
How dominant have they been?
They've won 84.3% of their games at home.
It's pretty good.
Like dominant as in like recent? Like, I'm trying to...
They've been consistent. I'll just say they've been very consistent. You'll always kind of see their name in the NCAA tournament. Had a really good run about the start of this list around 07, 08, but kept running into Florida.
Wisconsin.
I like where your head is there. Wisconsin's actually number 11. 83% of their games at home.
Ohio State?
Yes, number 10. 84.3% of their games at home.
I feel like they've always been one of those teams where you usually see them in the top 25, but they're always just kind of hanging around. Yeah.
Next team, SEC team at number 12 with a second-year head coach.
LSU?
Florida.
Florida is actually on the list. They are number 14, 81.6%.
Oh, Arkansas.
There you go. 82.8% of their games. And finally, the only one you guys haven't guessed, at number 13, a ACC team in everything but football.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, well, and they were Big East for a while too. They won 81.6% of their games at home for the last 20 years. Now, switch over to college football. Now, the list I have is over the last 5 years. Can you give me the top 10 winning percentage at home over the last 5 years?
Alabama and Georgia are going to be on there.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Actually, they are 2 and 3. Georgia's won 96.9%, and Bama 94.3%.
Ohio State's going to be number 1, right?
Number 4, 91.
Oh, number 4.
And they're tied with another Big Ten team.
Michigan?
91.9%.
God, who's number 1?
Tennessee's going to be on there. They're
they
not.
are 23rd, 81.1%.
I thought we've been really good at home the past few years. Maybe not the past 5.
Clemson?
Clemson's number 8,
okay.
88.2%.
What league is number 1 in?
Big Ten.
Penn State?
Where is Penn State's 11? They're just on the outside.
Penn State.
86.1%.
Who are we missing? Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan. Who else has been really good at home that we're not thinking of?
New or old Big Ten?
New.
Oregon.
Number 1, 97.1%.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 years, guys, they are 33 and 1.
Wow.
At home.
Does that count? Does that
their
count?
Most recent one could have been.
No, this is
that doesn't count Indiana.
19 to 24. is
Okay.
what
Okay.
is
Yeah,
going on.
that's why Tennessee's.
You can add a second loss to that then with Indiana.
You've got a ACC team at 10, a SEC team at 9, and you've got an SEC and a Sun Belt team tied at 6.
Sun Belt. Ooh. I don't know about the Sun Belt. The SEC team.
There's actually a lot of Sun Belt teams in the top 40.
Hey. The SEC, we said Georgia and Alabama. It's not going to be Florida. They haven't been great. I guess LSU, right?
LSU's number 6.
Yeah.
88.6%.
And there's another SEC.
Yes.
Ole Miss. Mm-mm. It's not Auburn.
Texas.
You're close.
Oklahoma?
Is it Oklahoma then?
They're 28-4, 87.5% of
Okay.
the games at home. You're just missing. Actually, you're missing the ACC team at 10 and the Sun Belt team tied for 6.
Did we say Clemson already?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Miami.
No.
ACC is going to be. It's not going to be like Louisville or Virginia or Pittsburgh.
No.
Boston College. Just kidding.
Is this out of left field, or is it like it should be pretty?
It's a newer ACC.
A newer ACC team.
It's conference realignment stuff. I'm still not used to.
Oh, is it UCL or no? They're Big Ten. Who is it? USC that went to ACC?
SMU.
SMU.
27-4 at home, 87.1%. And you're just missing that Sun Belt team tied for 6.
I'm gonna throw Troy out there.
No.
South Alabama.
No.
Southern Miss.
No.
Where's that place that old Billy Napier came from? Louisiana Lafayette.
Louisiana, yeah, but no.
No.
What state is it? I'm gonna need to have we need that. Virginia. Oh, Old Dominion.
No.
Or no,
Right state, but
JMU.
Yes, James Madison's won 88.6% of their games at home over the last 5 years. At number 12 is Delaware. They're new-ish.
Interesting.
So Miami of Ohio has won 84.6% of their games at home. Utah, 84.4. Appalachian State, 83.9. Mississippi, 82.9. Notre Dame, 82.4. Memphis, 82.4 as well. Texas and Boise State tied at 81.8. My boys, Marshall, 77.4% of their games at home over the last 5 years. We mentioned Tennessee. There's some kind of shocking ones.
I've always said that the Marshall Thundering Herd is one of the greatest home field advantages. I've long said that.
They've actually, since they built Joan C. Edwards Stadium, and they opened it up, and I believe in 1989, they have like an 82% win percentage at home over that time. A lot of that was, early FBS and FCS.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting stuff when it comes to the world of.
And James Madison, I mean, that's random. Like, who would have thought they would have been? They're consistently good at football.
Interesting fact. I just saw this on Instagram last night. James Madison on the opposite sidelines, one of their bathrooms, the men's room, has a window out into the field.
I did see this.
Missouri State has this too in the men's room. At the urinals, they have windows, so you can
watch the game.
James Madison, it's not the urinals; it's like one of the actual sit-down toilets, the stalls. So it has 2 windows. You can just do your business and watch the game.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I think they're breaking ground, guys. I think they're doing.
This is innovative.
They're on to something.
This is innovative stuff. They need to be including this in the thoughts of the new stadiums that are going up everywhere.
Well, speaking of something like that, this memory just popped in my brain. So years and years ago, I literally as a kid, I thought, okay, this is the best thing ever. And as an adult, I'm like, I still want this. We went to Pensacola with my family to the beach, and we had just been out to see the Air Force, the museum down there with all the aircraft. Yeah. And we're wanting to go have lunch somewhere, and so we're driving around, and there's this like shack on like a pier, and my stepdad's like, "Oh, that looks interesting, just good seafood, some of that, nothing too expensive, freaking like 4-star restaurant in there, tablecloth, everything." And my brother and I, we had to go to the bathroom, and we're like maybe 12 years old at this time. We're young. And we go in, and the urinals, they had TVs in each urinal. And I thought it was like the best thing ever. It's like, this is the future.
Yeah.
This is the best thing you can have in the bathroom. They are onto something with the window.
They are. It's pretty hey, sometimes you got to be innovative at the group of 5 level to get people out there,
butts and
even if it
seats.
means just to have windows so you can watch the game.
If UNA is listening, there is a new stadium going up. I don't think it's too late to implement some of that.
They're just
windows and
drywall
TVs.
Yeah,
right
if I can
now.
get King Kitts or Josh Looney's attention, please implement bathroom seating in Bank Independence
I'll
Stadium.
be back there on Monday. I'm doing the women's basketball game.
Put in a good word.
ESPN, So I'll see what's going on. Well, that will do it for X Sports today. No show tomorrow. I've got to travel around, do a bunch of stuff, but we should be back and ready to go on Thursday. So for Taylor, Brian, and myself, we'll see you guys then.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.